Hi, y'all. My name is Taylor. I'm a therapist and I love metal music. I'm so excited because The Ghost Inside just dropped a new song. And so we're going to listen to it and react to the lyrics and hopefully use them as a way to ignite positive change in your life. Okay, let's do it. It's called Earn It, The Ghost Inside. 3, 2, 1.
Listen up! I need you to hear me out, so I'll ask this question. Think hard. Are you willing to risk it all to learn this lesson? Embrace the change. Sometimes in life there's pain. The things that give us hope can also take it away. You say it won't be easy. I know it never is. Fight through the fear inside
This is a banger.
won't dim the light in my chest. I'm not afraid of falling, so put me to the test. 'Cause I know that I'm gonna earn it. You strike the match and I'll burn it down. Strike the match and I'll burn it down.
Okay.
The truth is harder than the lie. You sealed your fate, you chose your side. You take it till nothing is right. But now I draw the line. You say it won't be easy. I know it never is. Fight through the fear inside me. Won't dim the light in my chest. I'm not afraid of falling, so put me to the test. 'Cause I know that I'm gonna earn it. You strike the match and I'll burn it down.
This slaps. This is so good. It's a mental health masterpiece. I'm so excited.
I earned it, and you did it. If you want it, go get it. If you want it, then come and get it. Yeah. You say it won't be easy. I know it never is. I know it's I lay them all to rest. I've been to hell and back now. It's just a place in my head. I know it's never easy, but put me to the test. 'Cause I know that I'm gonna earn it. You strike the match and I'll burn it down. Burn it down. I earned it, and you did it. If you want it, then come get it.
A banger, a mental health banger. I cannot compute. I'm too excited. Okay. Whoo. In the first line. Are you willing to risk it all to learn this lesson? Embrace the change. Sometimes in life there's pain. Period. Period. End of sentence. Yes. We often want all of these big things in our lives. Love, a successful career. And what we forget is that pain is a universal part of the human experience. It's unavoidable. Something that we can avoid at least a little bit more is suffering. Suffering is what happens when we tell ourselves that it's because of something bad about us that we are in this place of pain. It's often not true. Pain is just a part of being a person. Suffering doesn't have to be. And suffering occurs when we use the moments of pain to create a story about who we are. We put on our pain goggles and then we speak to ourselves about who we are and our goodness and our value. And that only ends in hurt, because if you put a rose-colored frame over your eyes, you're going to see roses. But if you put a pain-colored frame over your eyes, you're going to see pain, and you're not going to see yourself as a good, worthy individual. So what instead we need to do is we need to wait for the pain to pass before we create a story. And when we do that, when we wait, it always leads to rising. Actually, one of my favorite quotes by Glennon Doyle is, first the pain, then the waiting, then the rising. And I've seen it with my clients time and time and time again. As soon as you either wait to create the story or you untangle the pain story that you created when you were in a moment of pain, I always see people move to a place of rising, a place of light, a place of beauty, a place of joy. But we have to resist the urge to create a story when we're in that place of pain. Because, like the ghost inside says, sometimes in life there's pain. So if we know that it's going to happen, the best thing that we can do is accept that it's going to happen and know that it's not the time to create a story about who we are or what's possible for us. Instead, we wait. We feel it. We embrace it. We find support for it, but we wait through it. And then we rise out of it. Just like a phoenix, we rise from the ashes. Let's go. Okay. If you're in a place of pain, though, and you find yourself already creating a story about what is wrong with you that has put you in this place, or if you're just trying to wait through it, comment below and tag out HeartSupport. We want to know about it and we want to encourage you through it. You don't have to get through it alone. Okay, this is so good. I'm not afraid of falling, so put me to the test. One of the biggest lessons that I have learned in my life personally and through helping my clients is that failure is actually the biggest blessing, and we shouldn't try to avoid it. In fact, we should run towards it. It's part of how HeartSupport operates, honestly. And I am so grateful for this because when we create a culture, which is so often our society, our family structures, there is this culture that says, if you fail, you are bad. My flip for this, my shift for my clients is, if you are not failing, you're not trying anything new. You're not pushing yourself past your current comfort zone. Failure actually means that you're investing in expansion. Failure actually means you're investing in expansion. If you're failing, you're growing, you're learning, you're expanding. It makes a lot of sense that people would be afraid of failure because of the societal structures that we have in place. And because often it's not safe for people to fail. Maybe they come from places where when they failed, they were told that they were bad. And I see this a lot with my clients. So there's a lot of anxiety about trying new things because there is a fear of what might happen if they do. When you can let go of that fear and shift towards a failure is actually a success mindset, you will find so much freedom and so much opportunity. And my biggest tip for this is to try to practice the shift and remind yourself that, yes, you could fail, but what does it actually mean if you fail? It means you tried. It means you worked towards something that you've been wanting to work through. You succeeded in facing a fear. You succeeded in trying something new. Maybe you didn't master this one thing yet, but that doesn't mean you never will. If we master everything we try, then we're probably not trying things that are challenging enough for us. So trying to shift your mindset on what failure is, and instead of running from it, trying to encourage yourself to run towards it. Is there something that you're afraid of failing at? Is there something that you've been wanting to try, but you haven't? Put it in the comments and tag us. Let us encourage you to go for it. Because the worst and best thing that happens is you fail. And take it from me, someone who has failed 1,000,001 times, it has gotten me everything that I have. Okay, this chunk. I earned it and you didn't. If you want it, come and get it. I love this line and I have no idea what this is about, but what it reminds me of is mental health and a happy lifestyle is something that many people have to earn. And it is not fair that it comes easy to some people and not to others. That's not fair. Regardless of if it comes easy to you or if it doesn't come easy to you, it is still your responsibility. It might not be your fault, that it's harder to manage your mental health. Maybe there's trauma, there's genetic predispositions. It may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. And you are the only one that can come and get it. And sometimes when my clients will describe their lives to me and they'll be like, I don't know why I feel bad. And I will gently and so compassionately look at them and remind them that mental health is a big challenge for a lot of people that requires a lot of little parts and accomplishments. And so if they're not eating right, if they're not getting enough sleep, if they're not exercising, if they don't have community, if they don't have something that they're looking forward to, if they're not meditating or journaling, everybody has different pieces, but there's some big ones like getting enough sleep, eating healthy, working out, therapy, sometimes medication for certain individuals. If they don't have those basics, I often am like, well, yeah, no wonder you don't feel good. When I don't get a good night's sleep and I haven't exercised in a couple of days and I haven't seen my therapist in a month, I don't feel good either. And some individuals wish that they could be people who could just feel good without taking care of their mental health. And I get that because it sucks. It sucks when things come easy to some people and not to others. But we have to accept that whatever our mental health predisposition is, that's what it is. And we can work with that, but we have to work for it. So although it might not be your fault that you're struggling, it is your responsibility. And if you're not sure where to start, making sure that your basics are taken care of: sleep, food, exercise, community, therapy, if you can have that, is a really great place to start. And I have so much compassion for you if you're like, I see it come so easy to these people, or like these bad things happen to me and now I have to work harder. It's not fair. You're right. It's not. And it's not worth you living this way. So you have to be the one to come and get it. If you're struggling to work through your mental health, to take responsibility for your healing, put it in the comments below. Let us know. We want to encourage you. We want to be there for you. And we want to be that community. So tag out HeartSupport and share what's going on. Okay, one more. I've been to hell and back now. It's just a place in my head. Something I see every single day is that the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are and about a situation are often so much worse than reality. Our brains have a tendency to skew towards a negative version of ourselves for most of us, and a negative version of the world. And that means that so often the hell that we create is just a place inside our head. And so what we need to do is try to create space between who we are and that negative place inside our head. A great way to do this is mindfulness. A super easy trick to this is to become an observer of your thoughts. So instead of I am this, this is this, and becoming engulfed in your thoughts, you start to take a step back and even just say, oh, I notice that I'm thinking really negative thoughts right now. I'm curious about that. Oh, I notice that I am being really mean to myself in my mind right now. I wonder what that's about. Even creating that space, that extra observer position, can help you start to separate yourself from your thoughts. And once you're separate from them, you can evaluate them in a more accurate, helpful way. For example, I have a client who often struggles with thinking that she is never going to find a partner in her life. And that's a really painful thought. And she creates all of these stories and can visualize, even picture her life alone in her mind. It can be really challenging to just erase those thoughts, to just stop having them. So the step that we take is I have her just notice that she's having those thoughts. I notice that I'm feeding into this belief that I am not going to ever find a partner. I notice that I am really telling myself a negative story about my own future. And then once you start to observe, you can start to evaluate, what evidence do I have for this? What evidence do I have against it? Am I catastrophizing? Am I jumping to conclusions? And you can use that as a jumping off place to start to heal. But the first step is becoming an observer, because often hell is just a place in your mind. If you struggle with hell feeling like a place in your mind that you sometimes get stuck in, man, I feel for you, because the one thing that's always with you is your mind. And it sucks to feel like there's no escape. So if you're there, comment below by tagging out HeartSupport. We want to encourage you. We want to help you through that. Okay. Oh, I love the ghost inside. Check out our interview. We just interviewed Andrew at HeartSupport Fest, and it's a great interview. So watch that next. But before you do, comment below something you're struggling with in the comments. Let us encourage you. I love you. That was Earn It by the Ghost Inside.